Hello and welcome to the program Guest of the Week on Haske-Tv and FM. I am your host, Christiana Babayo. As always on this program, we talk to interesting personalities, people who have made certain marks in their area of expertise. And on this program, they share their experiences with us. They share their defining moments, challenges that they have encountered, as well as the lessons that they have learned so that the younger generation can learn from it. Now, today is no exception. We have also brought on board a very wonderful legal practitioner who, for the next couple of minutes, will be telling us about his journey in the legal practice. Let's take a short break and then we'll come back. He will introduce himself. It's better to hear from the horse's mouth, and then we'll pick up the program right from there. Good day, sir, and welcome to the program. So let's begin with a brief of your background and then tell us about your early days.
Well, thank you so much. I remain Isa Buba Esquire, and I am from Okari local government of Taraba State. To be precise, I'm from Jibu. I am a practicing lawyer within and outside Taraba State, and I have started my legal practice since 2017, and by the grace of God, I am into my 9th year of legal practice, or I can say professionally I'm 10-year post-call of legal practice, and so far so good. We have started my legal practice with ITL Sudi and Associate. Jalingo here, Traverse State. I served my NYC with him, and then from there I proceeded working with him till sometimes in 2023, and I established my law firm called Isabuba and Associate. Yes.
Okay, so let me ask, why did you choose the legal practice? The legal practice. Why did you have an interest in the legal practice? I mean, you could have become any other thing.
Yes.
Why did you choose the legal profession?
Well, to be honest, I had a passion of it since when I was young. My thinking was that the moment of becoming a legal practitioner, you will be able to change the judicial system and also to ameliorate the situation of injustice in the country. That was my thought, and in fact that is still my ambition whenever I have the chance to do that. And I would have myself, I wanted to read public admin when I discovered getting admission to study law was very, very difficult as at then. That was why I went to about 3 universities in search of law admissions, and finally I ended up at Ahmadu Bello University Zaria, from University of Maiduguri to University of Abuja, and lastly to ABU Zaria. That was where I started my degree program in law, and I finished, and I proceeded to Yola campus of the Nigerian Law School, and was called to the bar in the year 2017. To be honest, one of the reasons I study law is because of the current economic crisis in the country. Legal profession is a very, very fruitful profession, and it's a profession that you need not to depend on any government for employment, owing to the fact of what we are facing in the country, issue of unemployment and the rest. So when you study law, you don't need to depend on any government, or you don't need to search for a job. You will be self-reliant and self-employed. So as I speak to you, I have about 9 lawyers working with me, and I'm a job creator, let me say. So I am proud, and I'm very, very happy of my decisions to study law. Anyway, yes.
Okay, so let's now move on ahead in this program.
Yes.
The legal system, especially that of Nigeria,
yes,
has been battling with a lot of challenges. In fact, looking at some of the situations or the cases that we have had to follow, especially those that were in the public sphere, a lot of people seem to have this perception that the Nigerian judiciary is weak. So I want to know, in your years of practice, what is your take on the judiciary system in Nigeria?
Well, I can agree with you to some extent that the judiciary system is weak. Weak in the sense that looking at the congestion of cases and the number of cases and the manpower the judiciaries are, or let me say the support from the government to the judiciary. If not the recent increment in their salaries and allowances, judiciary was far left behind when it comes to dispensation of justice as a result of poor funding. And this has contributed so badly to the corruption in the systems, where what is expected of judges is not there, so the only options he has is for him to look at other sources of money to finance the justice delivery. And this has contributed immensely in the degrading of the legal dispensation of justice in Nigeria. But we do hope by the current administrations, regard is being made to judiciary, and then we have been seeing the increment, that is a 300% increment of their salaries, and then the quarters and other things have been put in place by these current administrations, and we have seen changes in the administration of and we do hope when the judicial autonomy that is being recently passed will come into force. It is our hope that everything regarding corruption and setback in the judicial system will become something of history, by God's grace.
Okay, sir. You have touched a bit on the next question I was going to ask.
Yes.
I was going to ask you to, tell us about some challenges that you think legal practitioners face, especially in the area of discharging their duties, as regards to, the Nigerian situation, or you may decide to narrow it down to Taraba State where you have practiced, but I know you have also practiced outside Taraba
Yes.
State. So what, in your opinion, are some of the challenges that legal practitioners face?
Well, to be honest, one of the major challenges we face is transfer of aggression. Sometimes you are just a professional handling a case of somebody, a client, but maybe that client you are handling his case has issue with another person. Then that other person will transfer the aggression or the malice to the legal practitioner handling the case, without understanding the fact that a lawyer is just like a medical doctor. He can be able to treat you and also treat your enemy. So when people are dragging us into their conflict to the extent of targeting us spiritually, physically, and otherwise, sometimes you will see we face a lot of challenges, spiritual attacks from clients and other persons. Probably when you are engaged, they'll go and engage some native doctors to attack you spiritually, so that you will not be able to handle the case properly, all these sort of things. So honestly speaking, so lawyers are facing a lot of challenges. Myself, I've handled cases where I was attacked spiritually, but by the grace of God, we are still here doing our best. Because God has seen our heart, we are just doing what is expected of us. We are hired to do the same thing we've done to this person. Tomorrow, if you hire us, we'll do it, because we are there to assist the less privileged and the voiceless. So apart from this, we also face challenges from the government. Sometimes a lawyer is considered to be, not sometimes, a lawyer is considered to be an esquire. An esquire is highly respected individual in the society. So you are one of the reasonable and prudent individual in the society, which the society look up to you for representation. So people are expecting lawyers to speak against the government, to criticize the government whenever they consider that the government is strong, so that the government will ameliorate the situations. But sometimes when we criticize, we may be facing challenges from the government, arrest from there, detention from there. So sometimes we may be forced to keep quiet, even if we perceive that wrong is being committed. So these are the challenges. Unless and until you happen to be strong and fearless, you will not be able to comment on the activities of the government, and which is one of our responsibilities as lawyers who are conversant and luminary of what is the rules and regulations on how the government and the policies of the government should be executed. So whenever we speak, sometimes we get that challenges. That's why some of us are very quiet. They don't speak, even if the government is not doing well. But by the grace of God, we happens to be strong and fearless. We speak whenever we consider that the government erred. We criticize constructively and advise the government to do the needful. Not only government, and whenever we perceive that things are not being done rightly, we talk, we write, we speak, so that at least they will be corrected and people will benefit from the correction. So we are facing a lot of challenges, but it is only that we are strong, and then we give thanks to God. We are still alive. And we also pray that God will give us the power and the ability and the wisdom to speak whenever it is good to speak. Yes, whenever the need arises. Yes.
I think that lawyers and journalists must be in the same boat on this point that you have mentioned now, where journalists are supposed to be people who speak for the society, speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. But sometimes, when you're treading around power, you have to tread with caution.
That is it.
Because your safety comes first.
Of
no matter
course.
what your profession is,
Of
you
course.
have to take care of yourself
Of
before
course.
you can be able to speak for another person.
Of course.
So you first look out for yourself. I mean, I totally understand that point.
Yes.
Now, which takes me to my next point. Now, it's a common knowledge that nobody is above the law. It's the principle of the rule of law.
Yes.
That everyone is equal before the law.
Yes.
Now, what do you think the judicial system should do to ensure that we don't get these intimidations from people who feel that they are at the upper echelon of power, or people who feel that they are in power and they are in certain positions and they can intimidate everyone, when in the real sense they should be subject to the law. If they are found wanting, they should be tried by the law, just like every other ordinary Nigerian. What do you think that the legal system can do to ensure that our legal practitioners are not being harassed or intimidated into keeping quiet in the face of rising challenges when they should speak for those who could not speak for themselves?
Well, I think the only thing I will say in this respect is for all of us to know that we are all created by God, and there will be a day for accountability. We should have the fear of God in our mind, because definitely in this country we have some people who they think they are above the law, and they get the support from the judiciary to some extent. I'm sorry to say that, because sometimes you will see somebody who should have been corrected by the judiciary but will be allowed to go free, and probably will be excused for doing some certain act, or somebody will use his influence and ensure that he humiliates somebody whom he thinks is less privileged. He will connive with the judiciary, the person be taken to prison, be humiliated, and then so on and so forth, just to satisfy his ego. And then the judiciary, the main function of judiciary is the interpretation of the law and application of same law the way it is, without fear or favor. So if truly we want to ameliorate this, the judiciary must take it upon itself that their functions of interpretations and application of the law should be done without fear or favor. If Mr. A commits an offense, and who is coming from a family with a silver spoon, and then Isabuba is coming from a poor background, also commits similar offense, we should be meted with the same punishment. Not that Mr. A, because he's coming from the president corridor, he should be given 5 years imprisonment, while Isabuba be given 45 years imprisonment in respect of the same offense we've committed. So if we are equal, that is why the spirit of equality before the law is very, very fundamental in curtailing excesses of the judiciary and corruption in the system. Yes.
Okay. And now, before we go on a break, I would like to talk about some of your. Okay, let's narrow it down to one. What do you think is your most defining moment throughout your legal career in the last 10 years that you've been practicing? Is there any case at all that you have worked on that stands out for you?
Well, I can say I have so many, which I believe are defining moments, because I cannot say that I have only one defining moment. So many cases, because we handle so many cases. Some I cannot even remember unless I check through my record. I think from since from 2017 till date, I've started my legal practice. I think we won so many cases and we lost also some, and then we've experienced so many things. We've seen a lot of obstacles in the prosecutions and then justice delivery. So to pinpoint one and say this is my defining moment, to be honest, is very, very difficult for me. But to be honest, so far so good. We have achieved a lot, and we are optimistic we'll do more, and especially in the area of human rights activism and human rights prosecution and public interest litigations. We have done well so far, and we continue to do our best to see that at least judicial system is respected, and then judiciary too applies the law the way it is, and also ensure that the less privileged or the uninformed individuals in the society also get to know what the law is, especially in the aspect of our legal enlightenment. On social media, we do our best to see that at least we encourage and we tell people in the language they understand what the law is and how to go about whenever they are faced with challenges like that. Because some of individuals in the society, many, they don't know of the existence of some of our laws. So we try over these years to explain to them the legal perspectives of most of all these things, legal dealings they've been carrying, their relationship with their landlords, especially the tenants-landlords relationship, and how they will relate with court whenever they have a case in court, and how they will relate with court and whether or not they will give money for bail. All these things we have done so much on them, enlightening people on how to go about it, especially issue of bail at the police and at the court. We inform people and we try to enlighten people that bail is free. There is no any law that says that you must give money before you will regain freedom. And we also enlighten some of these court staffs in the inferior courts where they think that collection of money from litigants is a right. We explain to them that by law they are not entitled to any payment from the litigants. So far so good. We have done so well in educating the society, knowing their rights, and then how to apply or how to use what they have to, that is the knowledge they acquire in solving the problems they encounter. Yes.
Thank you very much. At this point, we'll take a short break, and then when we come back, sir, we'll go into what you've already started talking about. You know, the population, that's Nigerians entirely, especially the vulnerable ones.
Yes.
We'll talk about them and how the law affects them. So please stay with us. When we come back, we'll continue the program right from here. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is the program Guest of the Week on Haske-Tv, and I have been in the studio with Barrister Buba Isa, and he has been telling us a lot about the legal profession and his journey in particular. So, like we said before we went on the break, we're going to talk about Nigerians and the law, especially the vulnerable population. So, sir, there are people that we call the vulnerable population in every society.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned before we went on the break that these are people that you're trying to educate and enlighten them on their rights and the things that they should and should not do whenever they are faced with a legal battle. Now, some of these people cannot really afford to even get a lawyer for themselves to defend them whenever the need arises. And I'm very conversant with the term in the legal world, pro bono. Yes, so I don't know how the legal system ensures that these people that cannot afford the services of a lawyer actually get one, and then the person serves them to the best of his or her ability to ensure that they get the justice that they deserve.
Thank you. Before I comment on the pro bono system, the federal government has taken care of that, because it has established long before now Legal Aid Council, which is saddled with the responsibility of handling cases of indigent litigants, those who have no means of engaging the services of a legal practitioner of their choice. The federal government has established these offices across the country. In each state, you will find Legal Aid Council. This Legal Aid Council handle cases for indigent persons, but there are certain qualifications for you to be entitled to their service. Definitely, you must have a certificate of poverty. When we say certificate of poverty, people think you have to go to an institution to acquire a particular certificate of poverty. No, you have to state to them your level of poverty. What is your income? What do you have? And if you cannot afford it. So that details given to them in writing is what is called certificate of poverty. So they will now ascertain with high degree of certainty whether or not you will be entitled to that service. If you will be entitled, they will grant you free legal service. And if you are not entitled, they will advise you that your certificate of poverty is not rich enough to qualify you for their service. So they will advise you to go and engage the services of a lawyer. So that apart, private lawyers also have their what is called human rights activisms, where they dispense their legal services free of charge to persons they consider have no means of engaging their service, like especially those in the rural areas where they face a lot of injustice from our security agencies or from traditional institutions and the rest, or from their other individuals, like issue of rape, defilement, incest, all these things. Sometimes we consider giving them free legal services because some of these things happened to them without notice, so for them to prepare for the legal battle. So we provide legal services for these persons, especially indigent person. But we face with some challenges. Sometimes you see somebody looking as if he's poor, but if investigation is made, you even find out that it's even richer than you. As he will not reveal to you that he has that means. So sometimes it's very, very difficult. We may end up giving our pro bono services to somebody who is more richer than somebody doesn't deserve it. So to be honest, that system is there, and then the lawyers have been doing their best. Sometimes you go to court without even thinking of getting pro bono case. A judge will select you from the lawyer, say you handle this case, and you cannot say, my lord, I cannot deny. You must do it diligently to ensure that at least the rights of individuals are protected. And this also will bring me to one important issue that I want the public to understand, that in some capital offenses like that of kidnapping, culpable homicide, rape, and banditry, all these capital offenses, there is no way a case can continue against the accused or the defendant without a lawyer defending him. So for instance, now should Bello Turji, a notorious kidnapper, yes, should he now be arrested and be brought before a court? Definitely you must see a lawyer representing him. If he is not represented by a lawyer, whatever decisions of the court against him, unless and until if he says that he is defending himself by himself, but if he says he wants the services of a lawyer, then a lawyer must be assigned to him. But the society always look negatively to the lawyers defending those people accused of kidnapping, banditry, and this thing. Unknown to them that the case cannot proceed without a lawyer defending them. So if you say, okay, we cannot defend them because they are accused of kidnapping, sometimes about 50% of accusations turns out to be lie. Yes. Sometimes they will just accuse you of committing armed robbery. And then we have seen cases where police will just go and random arrest, and at the end of the day, even innocent people will be arrested, and if care is not taken, they will be charged to court, and then the society will look at that innocent person as a criminal. So if they see a lawyer defending that person, they will say, you are supporting criminal. No. The law says that they cannot proceed with the hearing of that case without legal representation for that person. Otherwise, whatever is the outcome of the case at the appellate court will be set aside. So people should understand. For instance, now, if they should see Issa Buba representing Bello Turji tomorrow, they should not say, no, Issa Buba is defending a criminal. Unless and until it is established and proven before somebody will be adjudged a criminal. But a mere accusation or allegation against that person, and throughout the journey of the trial, the person is still presumed to be innocent. That is not what the Issa Buba say, but what the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria say, that every person charged with criminal offense shall presume to be innocent, unless and until the contrary is proved. That's section 36 of 5 of the 1999 Constitution. So if, for instance, now, Bello Turji is arrested, unless and until he's found guilty by the court, during his arrest and the duration of the trial, he's still presumed to be innocent. Despite the fact that we have seen on social media, he has been saying that he has been taking responsibility of carrying out operations, killing individuals, but still, once he's arrested, the Constitution says we should presume him to be innocent. So society should understand that they should not be blackmailing or rather condemning the activism of lawyers defending people they perceive to be criminals. The law says that you must provide legal services for them whenever you are able. But you may decide to say, no, you are a very dirty man from the society. I don't want to associate myself with you. Yes, you can do that as a lawyer. It's your choice. The lawyer has right to decline. Yes, certain briefs, it's not most that you must collect all briefs that comes your way. But sometimes, with or without your participation, the person will deserve the justice, will rather receive the justice he deserves. For instance, now, if Bello Turji should be arrested and says he's going to engage my service, for instance, I will say, okay, how much are you giving me? I will charge him adequately. He will pay me. And deep inside me, I know that this person will not make that, at least this person will not survive in this case. But with or without me, he will be prosecuted and he will be convicted. And as ministers in the Temple of Justice, it's also part of my responsibility as a lawyer to assist the court in the delivery of justice. So regardless of where I am, for instance, if I'm defending a criminal, if I know deep inside me that yes, this person has committed this offense, I will do my best to secure, probably, if release is not, if I'm not able to secure release, I should be able to get the penalty mitigated for him. I will do my, but it is not a do or die. I fear that I must ensure by hook or by crook that the person is freed. And that is the aspect of the profession that you also assist the court in the delivery of justice. You should not be seen perverting the cause of justice as a lawyer. Yes. Mm.
So the bottom line here is that whosoever, provided he is a citizen, deserves legal representation, irrespective of what he has been accused of.
Of course.
Because he's presumed to be innocent unless he's proven otherwise by the court.
That is the position.
So I think that this is a very important point for our audience, because I think a lot of people don't know that.
Yes.
Because people would say that this country is busy defending criminals.
Yes.
Why are we representing criminals? They are criminals. They should just be hanged to death or something.
Yes.
But the thing is that now we're hearing from a legal practitioner that everybody, provided you're a citizen, you have earned the right to a legal representation, irrespective of what you are being accused. Yes. Thank you so much for that enlightenment. It will do us a lot of good for, and also for our listeners. Nice. And then, as we are winding down on the program, the legal system is perceived to be slow sometimes because there are some bureaucratic bottlenecks, here and there. It's not a smooth sail as we would expect it to be, especially seeing that people in the legal profession do hold the lives of other people in their hands, because sometimes what you do as a legal practitioner on that case determines whether that person lives or dies. Even if the person survives, how you handle it determines how that person is going to carry on with the rest of his life. So it is a Herculean task that legal professionals do have. Now, how do you deal with some of these bureaucracies that come with some of the cases that you handle, seeing that there's a life at stake? And ordinarily, as a legal practitioner, you would want to see that this case comes and it goes. But because there are different powers at play, it's not up to you entirely. It has to be slow and take its course before at the end of the day. But that's why sometimes we hear cases of people who have been locked up for so many years before a decision is reached, and then they are later found to not be guilty. What do you think that the judiciary system can do to ensure that these issues are tackled at least to a barest minimum, so that we don't have innocent people rotting in jail for things that they didn't even do in the first place?
Well, there is a saying that says the delayance of justice is a denial of justice. To be honest, what we are lacking is manpower in the judiciary. Like for instance, in Taraba State here, we have a structure of the National Industrial Court. The structure is there, the staff are there, but we do not have resident judge that will man the court. So all our cases of industrial actions is being taken to Yola or Gombe. So these are the challenges which at least every state should have. If all the states of the federations are having these courts, issue of delay of justice will not be seen. For instance, now the judge in Yola will attend to cases of Adamawa State and Taraba State and Gombe State. So if the federal government and the state government will look into expanding the judicial corridors to employ the services of qualified legal practitioners to man these courts, it will mitigate the delayance of justice and will enhance quick justice delivery, and not only quick but quality justice delivery. So yes, and sometimes what is causing delay in the dispensation of justice is the procurement of witnesses who are to come and testify for a case. Will not be there when the case comes up. So the prosecutions, especially lawyers from Ministry of Justice, sometimes you see them moving here and there. In fact, to the extent of paying witnesses from their pocket to come and attend to court to ensure that justice is being delivered within time. But if the police and other law enforcement agencies will be up at doing in their investigation and ensuring that they will be ready at all times to testify in court, it will alleviate the issue of delayance of justice and congestions of prisons. And equally, the issue of execution of people sentenced to death that is the convict sentenced to death by courts. You go to our correctional center, you will find out so many people were sentenced to death by hanging, by firing squad, and by other means. But the signing of the execution order by the governor of these various states is very, very difficult. They don't sign it. That's why we have congestions in the prisons. You will find somebody who has killed brutally and then is being sentenced to death. He should have been executed so that will serve as a deterrent to others to see. But the governors will not sign, will just jump pack them in the correctional center, blocking spaces for other minor offenses, and then people may not even know that they have been punished, they have been found guilty and be sentenced. People, they'll just stop seeing them in the society. Some may even think maybe they travel to another place unknown to them that they are still at the correctional center awaiting executions.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Because, you know the recent case of Mariam Sanders.
Yes, of course.
And then the Osina Chisinga, whose husband killed.
Yes.
You know, he's too.
Yes.
We just stopped hearing about it, and everybody is wondering, so what happened? Not until recently when the case of Mariam Sanders came again.
Yeah.
And then people would they have not executed her.
Yes. She's still alive. So you see, sometimes these individuals, as convicts, will be there. They will not be executed, and then in some few years to come, the governor or the president will grant them pardon. And at the end of the day, you will see them coming back to the society. While that will encourage other people to do, especially if they think they have relations in government or in politics. More, by the way, if I do this thing, my brother will stand for me and I will scale through. But if executions is being carried out, so many atrocities would have been curtailed by now. So, so far so good. If there will be transformation at the police and other law enforcement agencies, a quick investigation and the prosecution of cases, and that will also assist in the curtailing justice delay in Nigeria. Okay,
so collaboration among security agencies and relevant bodies is very important to administering justice, because not a single body can do it alone. You have to work together to see that you get it right.
Yes.
So lastly, sir, before we take a bow on the program, what is your call to young lawyers, people who are, now touring the legal path?
Yes.
Because some of them will think it's about wearing the robe alone. This robe is a very heavy garment. There are so many responsibilities that come with it. Like I said earlier, it is a Herculean task.
Yes.
Now, what calls you have for these people that are now venturing into this legal profession?
Well, I will welcome them, and I also advise them that they should be God-fearing and they should be trustworthy. If they are entrusted with any case, they should make sure that at least that confidentiality between them and their client is there. And they should be serious. Serious in the sense that once a task is given to you, you should try your best to see that at least you are able to discharge that task diligently and professionally. That's what will earn you more respect and earn you more clients. Because if you treat a client good, definitely he will go and inform others. So I got a very fair and good treatment from so and so person. But if reverse is the case, you are gone. The moment bad or negative information is being given against you, you are gone. So that you will not have anywhere to go in the profession. So trustworthiness and God-fearing is key to success in legal practice.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us on the program today. I know it's been a busy week, but you took out time to be on the program. So before I wave goodbye to our audience, what kind of a legal practitioner would you like to be remembered as?
Well, I should be remembered as a trusted legal practitioner and good-fearing legal practitioner. This too is okay for me.
Okay.
Yes.
A trusted legal practitioner and God-fearing. Because whether we like it or not, God is above all of us.
Of course.
And the last day we will all testify whether we did good or we did bad.
Yes,
whatever that was given to us.
Yes.
So thank you so much again for joining us on the program. We do hope that anytime we come again, your doors will be open so that we can, have this wonderful interaction. And to our audience, thank you so much for joining us on the program Guest of the Week. Today we have heard from the legal practice, and I know that we have learned a lot and we have taken some points down that we will also share with others. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. On behalf of the production crew and myself, Christiana Babayo, thank you and stay tuned to our subsequent program.